and here is one way it can work. Draw districts on a map of North America and grant license in each area to a contractor who undertakes the physical process of collecting and processing returns in her district. This is an expensive and capital-intensive undertaking, but it may be possible to make it profitable by adjusting the division of the comic book dollar. The 100% markup retailers enjoy is justified by the non-returnable terms of the present system, but it's unsupportable with returns. A third of that might be more profitable with more inventory and no unsold product costs. Additionally, publishers must bear the cost of making crummy comic books by being debited for returns, which will promptly sink a good many of them. Further, increased volume will justify the share of the distributor's end of the dollar for the returns contractors. For instance, an incentive to bid the license might be the right to order product at distributor cost on a non-refundable basis. For someone with 5 or 10 stores, this could be a valuable perk. But how can a contractor make money? What does she do with the comic books? What's the incentive? What would this mean to the comic book industry? A contractor will make money by increasing the number and profitability of vendors in her district, and by raking in a piece of every comic sold. At first, returns might be limited to 2 or 5 or some number of copies per issue, so vendors can ease into new titles and learn how to order enough, but not too much. The returned product would be handled variously in different districts. Some returned to publishers, some would be saleable products sold in many ways. Of the rest, some would be appropriated to donate to veterans hospitals or other organizations that can put them into people's hands. Nothing makes readers better than free comic books, and the remainder let out in bulk, lots for pennies. This is a job for an optimist workaholic with solid finances and a keen feeling for the comic book business. And this license is bound to interest a few of this sort of person, among many others. Of course, these licenses can only be granted by the distributor. Why are millions of people going to start reading comic books? Because the consistent level of transcendent comic books has reached the point of supporting promotion. When people see a cool comic book, they want to look at it, touch it, read it. It's a natural human response, so the course is plain. Go out and tell people. Show people good comic books. Explain what they are and how to get them, and move on to the next one. That's basically it. 1 million discriminating new readers buying independent comic books as a dominant preference would transform the entire industry from an archaic, declining niche market into a hip, vibrant entertainment media esteemed above television and perhaps equal to films. Of course, increased readership will attract opportunistic publishers who will just put out volumes of inferior comics, as happened in the 80s boom and bust. But with a returnable distribution system, they won't last long, and that history won't repeat itself. Really talented creators will have little trouble getting their work published, and the general quality of comic books will rise steadily, and new amazing comic books will appear regularly to the acclaim of the media and the masses, until so many are produced that they negatively impact the ecology and tax our natural resources. If the end of comic books is to come, rather it be for too much success and popularity than for boring product and reader indifference. The Comic Book Shaman, May 7th, 2003.
Listen to your woman, but not closely.